It's that time for the Smart Money Show. Oh my word! I was just getting a pep talk on the back.
Saying the time.
Yeah. So it's the time for the Smart Money Show here, and we are so delighted to have Chill in the studio. Chill from Cavmont Bank, and so we're talking about something interesting, and Chill is going to tell us exactly what it is. How are you today?
I'm good. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Cavmont Bank Smart Money Show. Your one and only place to get real financial advice that works. You know what? Today we have one of the grand opening, and the governor speaking. When I say the governor, we only know the Bank of Zambia governor, right?
Right.
Speaking because it is Financial Literacy Week, right? So we welcome also all of our viewers on the Cavmont Bank Facebook page. Hello, tune in. We are live if you'd like to see what's going on in the studio. And of course, our viewers on Diamond TV. Nice to see you. Although this will be airing on TV a little bit after Financial Literacy Week, but that's okay because it's still good for everybody to know.
Right.
And this theme, I think it came from us.
Oh, really? Tell us about it.
This theme is called
Be Money Smart.
I know, right?
I
know. But I was like, they couldn't say Be Smart Money because it's trademarked. But I was like, all right, Mr. Governor, we are. We get excited because the Smart Money Show came from Financial Literacy Week, right?
Yes.
So it's like this officially, it's been like 3 years.
Yeah. Isn't it 4?
Right?
I think so. I think it's 4.
Holy molies. Now, you know that we've all been running a promotion and a campaign for home loans and personal loans. So what I want to talk about today and reemphasize is I've got what you call the 5 C's of getting approved for credit. Okay. Well, okay, so a long time ago, maybe not that long ago, many years ago, I think if our parents said, I'm going to the bank to get a loan, all right? They would get, dressed up in their Sunday best,
Yeah,
they would,
suit,
right?
Those days,
yeah, they'd be like, let me go and look like a person or a responsible person. Okay,
Right.
they would get dressed in their Sunday best, clear the schedule for an hour and go and meet the bank manager, or the loan officer. And obviously today things are a little bit different. You don't need your Sunday best, number one. And a lot of times we can start to see where we sort of fit in online using different tools that we have discussed, and we'll probably discuss a little bit more. So, but here's the thing, what we call non-performing loans rate or the delinquency rate is starting to rise in Zambia, okay? This also could be because we give out more loans than we probably did before, okay? Especially on a retail level as opposed to before it was more just really business focused and oriented. If you heard that somebody had a mortgage, it was kind of like a surprise, right?
Right.
Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now it's like all I say is go get a mortgage before you're not working anymore.
Right.
Or hitting the retirement age, So one of the things we need to do is it's smart for us to prepare for a future where credit becomes harder to get, because what's going to happen is I think Zambia went through the last 10 years of like, come. Then all of a sudden they'll be like, ooh, let's think about how much we're just giving away, right? And this may become culture. This may have nothing to do with one bank, but as we, if we continue being a delinquent society, sounds like we're just bad kids on the side of the road, right? Right. But really we just didn't pay our loans, which is bad. Yeah. Okay, it's bad.
Okay.
So
Pay up your loans.
Pay up your loans.
Right.
So what I'm going to talk about with everybody today is that what we're calling the 5 C's of being credit ready. Okay. So and I mean, even if it doesn't happen soon, that banks become tighter, because right now borrowing is a very big and could be a very healthy part of our financial life if we do it correctly and follow the steps we've always discussed on the Smart Money Show. But should the time come that it's a little bit difficult, or even before, why don't we just make sure we're credit ready so that we also don't get disappointed when we go to Cavmont Bank, to apply for a loan, and we've made big plans. You know how human beings, we always plan before the money has ever
Yeah.
come, right?
Yes.
You're like, yes.
Code
this
living
is-
by faith, chill.
No, that's not living by faith. That's just that's living by faith is praying and working hard and reaching your goals. No, living that is just like
Don't let
No,
you
it's
start
not.
preaching.
you know what I mean.
It's
Like
start preaching that.
no, don't. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's not get started there because I could go on for a long time. Okay,
Right,
That's
okay.
that's not it.
So
Okay.
then we start planning before we get
Yes.
the money.
So now traditionally lenders will consider what we call the 5 C's. All
Okay.
right. And with those 5 C's, these are the 5 C's of credit. And knowing about those 5 C's could, one, help you secure really good interest rates. Okay. 2, help you just secure that loan, period. Okay. Without any other issues. Make sure that you're borrowing for the right reason and the right amount of time. Okay, so it's just important to kind of know these things. And just because you're offered a certain amount of credit doesn't mean you have to take it all. I mean, even at Cavmont, we will do pre-approvals, and so maybe not you, Cholwe, because we know
Right.
where your loyalty stands. Not here.
Not-
yeah.
right. It's here, chill.
It's here at Cavmont.
Yeah.
Secrets unveiled on the air.
Sure, everybody knows. Everybody knows. It is not a secret. We've been talking about this. We still don't understand. But anyway,
years.
yeah. So, what's wrong with you?
I don't know.
It's just one of those days. Huh?
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Doesn't mean just because Cavmont calls and says, "Hey, Mr. Cameraman." Hair. You've been pre-approved for $150,000. Come on down to Cavmont Bank. He can be like, you know what? Hold up. I only need $100,000, and let me stick to that $100,000.
Right.
We think that extra $50,000 is free money. It ain't.
It's
Let me
not
repeat
free.
It is not free money. Okay. It is
Right.
not free money, and you will need to pay back that whole $150. So get the 100 that you do need and work on your project, okay? Next. Okay, the first C, everybody, is called capacity, okay? Say it with me, capacity.
Capacity.
Say it again, capacity.
Capacity.
With enthusiasm, capacity. Capacity. All right, capacity. Here we go, all right. Because I was
Why
not
are you taking us back to grade 1?
No, because this is how we learned everything in grade 1. 1 plus 1 is what? You see?
2.
Hey,
It might even be listening, depending on who quotes you.
no, I can't. I don't know what school. She went to the school that Dario went to.
Yes. Same
Same school
group.
that Dario went to. Yeah, not our school. At our school.
At your school.
At our school, capacity. All right, so capacity, meaning
Right.
what is your capacity to service this debt? Okay, be real with yourself. And here's the thing. If your salary is 5 pin, people listen to me.
Right.
If your salary is 5 pin, please do not go and get a loan that is for 4 pin.
Oh.
No capacity
right.
there, okay? Let's stop pretending and lying to ourselves that we could live off 1 pin when we've been living off a 5 pin salary. You get what I'm saying, right?
Okay. So
But-
4 pin is what you're taking to service the loan.
Yes, doesn't make sense.
Yeah, okay.
So what you want is to, ideally, you want to have a debt ratio of 40 to 50% of your net salary. Net,
okay.
not gross.
Okay, okay.
Net. Gross means nothing because you don't see that money, all right?
Right.
Fine, you might see it in other things, healthcare, taxes, that's all wonderful.
Yeah.
But not in what you get every single month
So
on
40 to 50%.
40 to 50%.
okay.
I mean, 40% is very responsible, and that's generally what we tend to stick to at Cavmont Bank. So try to make sure you'll hear the word DSR, which is your debt service ratio. Do not go above 40%. So, I mean, sometimes you can reach 50%. So let's say, for example, you make 5,000 kwacha. Let's stick to that. And that's your net salary. And you go and get a loan, and especially if it's for something smart, that's going to bring us maybe more income or make us stop paying rent, for example, if you got a mortgage, then going home with 2.5 is okay.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah,
or
yeah.
going home with 3,000 if you've done your 40%, it's okay. Not though where you're going home with 1,000 and your loan is taking up 40%, okay?
It's
the
taking
biggest-
4,000.
Yes,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
So the biggest question to ask yourself is what is your capacity to service the debt? Can I pay for this debt, okay? This looks at your income calculator, so you can go online and type in your income, your expenditure, and it will tell you this is what's left over. And if this is what's left over, how much of this can you use to pay back that loan.
Right.
Then you make, you're sort of concise, you're concise and level-headed, smart decision, okay?
Right.
Okay, so now the next C, everybody, we're going to do this again. Capital, say it with me.
Capital.
Back to grade 1. Capital. We say it together. So I'm just saying.
But you said it like a second after us.
Anna, that's school she went to. How are you and Darius?
My teacher is amazing.
I hope you and Darius' teacher was fired, Monday, because this is not working. Okay, everybody, capital. Okay. So remember, last week the week before we talked about calculating your net worth, okay, and understanding your net worth.
Yes.
So when you calculate your net worth and you add up on your own and subtract, basically you subtract what you owe, for example, and you add what you've got. A bigger number will give lenders more confidence that things, that they don't have to worry about you defaulting, okay? So you'll have access to other resources that you could sell to pay your debt. So I have this car here that is actually worth 100,000 kwacha, okay? And I have this something else here, a piece of land that is worth also 100,000. So should I lose my job or I'm unable to pay, guess what? I can sell my car here for 100,000 and pay you back, Cavmont Bank, that 100,000 that I borrowed.
Right.
Got it?
Okay. Yeah.
And that works well like for unsecured loans. Okay? Yes. All right. The third thing, everybody, collateral.
Collateral. Yes. I think I'm like that hype person in the...
You were that one in the front. Pick me, Miss Wanda, pick me. That was you, right?
Yes.
That was you. Meanwhile, Kafula was like, don't
I'm
pick
like
me.
the backbencher.
Yeah, you're like,
bring the paper.
yeah,
I
don't
will get
pick
everything
me.
right.
Yeah, she'll get it right. Hey, well, Kafula lies.
Not for like in Boston, kindly. That'd be all over. Like I'm here. No.
Tata Lisa, have you heard?
Oh my
That's
word. That was so funny.
That's usually my go-to word. All
Okay.
right. So collateral. So basically, if you ask, let's say, for example, you ask a lender to pay for 20,000 kwacha to pay for, let's say, a trip around the world, okay? What would happen if let's say you borrow money and you borrow 20,000 kwacha and you say, I'm going on a trip. Okay, that might not take you around the world, but, take you somewhere, okay? Say, I'm going to borrow 20,000 kwacha, Cavmont Bank, and I want to take a trip somewhere, okay? Now, what happens after you get back and your boss says, I never gave you leave, you've lost your job. Shame on you. Yeah,
that's sad.
That would really...
I actually feel the pain of that, though.
What, is that what's happening?
No, it's not what happened. It's not what happened, but I'm feeling what okay, you know what? Let's move on.
It seems very personal, this one, right?
Somebody wanted to testify.
Okay, this was an example, but anyway.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So, and you lose your job right after the trip. It may be more difficult for the lender to recoup their money that they lent you. So it would be very hard for Cavmont Bank to say, hey, Kafla, where is the 20,000 plus interest that you borrowed from us, right? But if you asked for 20,000, let's say to help buy a car that costs 25,000, you're with me? So you say, okay, Cavmont, I need 20,000 to buy a car, but the car costs 25,000. That car will be attached to your loan as collateral. Okay, so should you decide to drive on this vacation, okay, you drive on this vacation, you come back now and say, oh goodness, I lost my job. We'll be like, you know what, no problem, just give us your car that you enjoyed. It's over.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, but what I mean is that it's just things for you to be ready.
Yes.
If ever you're worrying about how will I pay off, so you just attach your loan to collateral. Now, in this case, not all loans require collateral, like our unsecured loans. But you could also, like we said before, have your own collateral to make sure that, hey, if things go bad, here's how I'm going. Yeah, because then you're also, this reduces the risk for us, Cavmont Bank, and probably makes us more likely to give you the loan. And then next, it also reduces your stress at night, like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? You know what I mean? Right. Yeah. The next C, and we've got two more C's, is credit history. Come on, ladies.
Credit history.
Say that again.
Credit history. That's my school.
That's my school. The disclaimer is everything.
Not history.
history. Yeah.
History.
All right, let's talk about your credit history.
Right.
Okay, we've talked before about the Credit Rating Bureau, and they're the bureau or agency that gives us a credit rating depending on how well we pay back our loans. Okay.
Right.
So now let's talk about your credit history. How have you used and managed or mismanaged your previous credit? That matters. So Zeds, let me tell you something. Here's chill school of thought. All of you who thought, I'll just run away from this loan. Can't do that no mo. No mo, no mo, no mo. You get it, right? Because we know exactly who you borrowed from, where you borrowed, and how you didn't pay back, or how you did pay back. So
Right.
you need to make sure you've got a really good and positive credit history. This is why sometimes once you find Cavmont Bank and you're like, these people are super, I love this bank, stick to us, okay? Because we will now have a relationship with you, and we will help you build up that credit history. And then it's much easier if something is going wrong to come back to Cavmont and say, let's have this discussion because I'm struggling in section ABC. I need some help. So before it splatters all over the CRB, we've
Right.
had that discussion. We found a solution that works in the interim, and your credit history is not negatively affected.
Right.
Okay?
Right. So you don't borrow from A, B, C, and D and everybody else.
Yeah, you
right?
see, and I think a lot of people think, oh, I'll secretly go to Cavmont, and then I'll secretly go to Blue Bank, and I'll secretly go to Green Bank, and nobody will know. Trust me, blue, blue, and red all know.
Right.
Okay.
Just make sure that you make your payments on time. Here's the thing, quickly, okay? If you think, but I paid, but you paid 5 days too late, in terms of the credit scoring system, it's the same as not paying.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. So that whole
Yeah.
thing of, but I paid. Oh, well, you didn't pay on the day we agreed. It's not like a human being who'll be like, that's okay, thanks for paying me 7 days late. No. Too bad. According to the credit scoring system, you didn't pay, homie. So
Right.
you need to make sure you pay on time and pay your full amount. Even saying, but I paid $3,000 when I was supposed to pay $4,200. Yeah. According to credit history,
You have not paid.
yes. So, with credit history, one of the things is that making your payments on time, making full payments that you have committed to make, okay, on time is your responsibility. And what it does is it demonstrates with your lender, with Cavmont Bank, that you are a credit-worthy person, okay? And you are a responsible person. And when you cannot do that, you must come to Cavmont and have that conversation. Don't try to figure it out on your own, because all we see is nothing's happening. Kafula was so quick to come and borrow, $150,000. Now where is she 6 months later? You see what I'm saying? Yes, and then that's really bad for a bank to do that.
Right.
Because now next time when, let's say, things calm down for you, let's say you even go to another bank, you know what's going to happen? The minute you go to that other bank and you want to borrow, who are they going to call? Cavmont Bank. They don't even have to call like physically. They'll just see kafula, default. And you don't want that on your records, okay?
Right.
So talk to us, and we're definitely ready to help. All right. So guys, the last one, character.
Character.
Yeah, you know what? I think Kamula does not. She's
Yeah.
doesn't-
She's got it.
What is wrong with you? I just said character.
No, there's like a beat.
oh, like
you
She
know what I mean? So,
defaulted.
like, if we-
She's like the
She
lone
did, right?
people
She's
who
like
come
the
like,
people. Yeah,
You should
that-
be saying 1, 2, 3, go.
No, we've all figured it out, but you. There's some things that go like this. Look, listen to the syllable. Character.
Character.
Yeah.
Why did I even try?
Oh,
Okay,
forget it.
character.
The last of the 5 C's to be credit worthiness and credit ready is character. Okay, so Cavmont Bank, for example, considers your past behavior to evaluate your ability to meet your future responsibilities. Okay, so how long have you been at your current job or industry? Guys, one thing is you wanna we really look at is this person stable? Now, obviously, it's understood if some positions are like contractual, that's fine. But if, let's say, for example, today, Cholwe is working at Radio Christian Voice, and then we see that she only was there for 6 months, and then she went to Diamond TV, and she was there for 2 months. And then she went to Cavmont Bank, and she was there for 3 months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That shows that you are not a person who necessarily sticks to something, all right?
Right.
This doesn't mean that if you're miserable in your job, you have to stay there just
Right.
because you want a loan later on.
Right.
Please, no. But generally, we tend to say, okay, if somebody can stick it out for a year here,
Yeah.
maybe 2 years here, you know, especially also in the same industry. So we might understand, okay, Cholwe went from Radio Christian Voice to Diamond TV, and then maybe went to Chill TV. You know, you can be like, okay, she's still in the same industry. Maybe Chill TV just came to her when she was at Diamond and said, you know what, I've got a better situation for you, and she's trying to grow her career. That is fine. We totally understand. But the difference would be if she went from Diamond TV and then she went to work in a mine for 3 months, then she left the mine and went to work out for a bank for 6 months. It's like, hey,
There's no
where,
stability.
yes, where are you in this? Yeah. And then it's not even about the company per se, but because you could move from company to company, but we see that you're still doing the same thing. You know, oh, Cholwe was the PR person here, PR again, PR, you know what I mean? So that all those things, we consider that as like, that
That's
you've
also
got,
something that employers look
yes,
at.
but
as
even
well,
banks, even banks do very much. Also, how long have you been in your current job or current industry? How long have you lived at your current address? This is a big one, because you find that I know some people that every year they move.
Wow. Yeah.
Every year they move. And it's not about, I found a better rental or whatever. What that shows from a behavior point of view is that you're not a stable person. And we get, maybe Cholwe is renting house on number 2250 Road or whatever it is, right? And then she's like, you know what? I pay too much rent. I think I can reduce my cost because I want to be smart money. And I move to number 5 Silicon Road or whatever it is. Fine. But then if we see like in 3 years, Cholwe's had 4 or 5 homes, or 4 or 5 different addresses. It's like, whoa, what's going on there? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So you want to tend to try and have a consistent address, or you want to show that I've lived here for at least 2 years at a time. A 2-year period tends to be a good period to show, because we do get, somebody can move, there's different reasons or whatever. But
Right.
these are things that are important. And what you're going to notice is, the great thing about living in Zambia is that we know how these things have affected other people in other countries. So now when it's going to come to us, we should have mastered these things already, right? So already you can see things like the Credit Rating Bureau. It's a big step for us. You can see that applications are becoming less tedious. But as we become much more advanced in our sort of credit industry and credit culture, these things are going to come into play big time. Right now, maybe you just get asked where you live now. Do you know what I mean? You
Yeah.
might not get asked where did you live before, where did you live before that, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And you might just get asked, where do you live now? And that could suffice for many organizations. But soon you're going to realize that they'll be like, oh, but how come, Kafla, you only lived here for 6 months and then you only lived at this place for 9 months? Because what it also looks like is, were you running away from the rent?
Okay.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we don't know, but it's all behavior studies or whatever. You know what I mean? So the idea is like, if in 3 years Kafula has had 5 addresses, how are we going to make sure that, first of all, we'll be able to find her, and then number 2, that she just won't run away and try to go to the next bank? You know what I mean? Yeah.
Right.
So, guys, if you can answer these questions, positively and sort of with the right in brackets, the idea is that the indicator to the lender is that you are a stable and you are a reliable borrower, and that's what you want. And you don't want to have any sort of negative, I don't want to say a stain on your borrowing record, but you don't want negativity, because one day you will need to borrow for something that is going to make you grow. You know what I mean? You will need to borrow for your business, because inside you're like, I'm an entrepreneur. Secretly, I'm an entrepreneur and I need money. So you will need to borrow for that. You will need to borrow for an emergency, and if something happens. Can you imagine, Kafla, I don't know if you've got siblings, but can you imagine you have a little brother or sister and all of a sudden they get accepted to like the best school ever, and family says, you can't go because you can't afford, but you know that you could afford it on on a Cavmont unsecured loan. You know what I mean? So how much would that suck if you came and were like, Kafla, actually, because of these 3 behaviors, we can't give you the money.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you've got to think about these things. Borrowing is a big part of anybody's life. Nobody if you do walk around with 1 million kwacha in a suitcase, don't talk to me. Okay? I don't need that drama in my life. So remember, guys, just remember the 5 C's. What I'm going to do is I'm going to post them on our Cavmont Facebook page, just so you can remember. I'm off to NIPA. Today we are at NIPA with Financial Literacy Week. Zingani and the crew have already set up a table. So I'm off there to go and see the governor and go, Cavmont! Yeah, because we're loud, right? At Cavmont Bank, because we're not conservative, not at all. No, we're loud and fun. So if you can get out to NIPA, come and check us out. We will be there for most of the day. If you need any information on borrowing, fixed deposits, transactional accounts, savings, anything, investments, anything, you call us on 3333 on Airtel and MTN or 0800 100 3333 on Zamtel. You can also always check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. And of course, tune in every Tuesday at what time?
At 19:30.
That's all she remembers. Okay. Yeah. Every Tuesday.
I see why you had that talk. Yeah.
We always have to have a talk, a pep talk before. So
on Diamond TV.
Oh, yeah, we said that.
And every Friday on YouTube, there's a new video.
Ooh, there you go. Look at you. Look at you.
That's me trying to make up for
Look
it.
at you. Yes, so we will be back on Friday to talk some more. I even had the topic, and now it's left my mind. But I'm oh yes, about scams. I want to talk about scams, social media scams that I want you to be aware of. Financial scams on social media. Okay,
right.
So we're gonna talk about that on Friday. So thanks everybody for tuning in, ladies. Thanks very much.
Thank you,
This has been
Jill.
the Cavmont Smart Money Show, and check us out today. It's Financial Literacy Week, everybody. We're also in Ndola, okay, and Kitwe, and Kasama. And Solway. Should I keep going? Yeah, no. It's
Everywhere.
Yes, everybody. All right, everybody. Check you out on Friday. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.